Hello, my dear students. In our previous class, we have started with the chapter called Current Electricity. In this chapter, we have learnt about the Ohm's law, equivalent form of Ohm's law. Then what we have learnt about the expression of the drift velocity, the derivation, correct? And also about mobility. In today's class, we will find out the relationship between the current and drift velocity. How to find the relationship between current and drift velocity? First, let us consider a conductor having the length. Okay, let us draw a conductor. Consider a conductor of length L. Area of cross section A. Correct? Let us consider this conductor and let us apply the external electric field so that the electrons will start moving in one particular direction. Otherwise, this electrons which are there nothing but free electrons will be moving randomly, correct? So let us consider a conductor of length L, area of cross section A. Let us connect it to an external battery, so therefore external electric field is applied. Let E be the external electric field applied. The direction of electric field is from positive to negative. This is the direction of current I, correct? When the external electric field is applied, the electrons will be drifted with the velocity. How much velocity? Velocity Vd, correct? Electrons will be drifted with the velocity Vd. Okay, electrons will start moving. Then, if there are n number of electrons per unit volume, for each volume, if there are n number of electrons, then for this full volume of this conductor, what is the total number of electrons? N number of electrons per unit volume it is. So for whole volume, what is the total electrons? So number of electrons in a conductor is equal to N into V. But what is the volume? Volume is nothing but area of cross section into length. Correct? So N A L is nothing but number of electrons in the conductor. How to calculate the number of electrons? Actually, N be the number of electrons per unit volume. Okay. So the total number of electrons in the conductor is, so I'll write here total so that you will understand better, correct? Total number of electrons in the conductor is N into A into L. If E is the charge of electron, then what is the total charge present in this conductor? Total charge in conductor is equal to, I'll write it as Q, is equal to E is the charge of single electron. For this many number of electrons, total charge is E into NaL, correct? ENAL, correct? This is the total number of electrons present in the conductor. Next, what is the time taken by the electron to reach from one end to the other end? So I'll write time taken by electron to travel the length L is, correct, from here to here is, how to write, time, t is equal to, how can I calculate the time, velocity is equal to distance by time. So time is equal to distance by velocity. What is the distance? Distance is L divided by velocity. Electrons will be drifted with the velocity Vd, correct? So time taken by the electron to travel the length L is T is equal to L by Vd, but we'll take it in terms of magnitude, okay? We want distance, that's all, correct? We don't want any direction, that is why we'll take it as magnitude. Fine, we got to know what is the time. We know the expression of current. What is current? Therefore, current through conductor the conductor is I is equal to Q by T. What is Q? Q is nothing but ENAL divided by time. L by Vd. Correct? L gets cancelled. So L is cancelled, correct? NEAVD. Therefore, I is equal to NEAVD. Am I right? This is the expression for current, and I can say this is the relationship between current and drift velocity. How we found the relation between current and drift velocity? What we have done? Let us consider a conductor of length L having the area of cross section A. When an external electric field E is applied, electrons will be drifted with the velocity Vd. Let n be the number of electrons per unit volume. Then total number of electrons in the conductor is n into A into L. If E is the charge of the electron, then total charge in the conductor is Q is equal to ENAL. The time taken by the electron to travel the distance L is T is equal to L by Vd. Correct? Therefore, that is magnitude of Vd. Current through a conductor is, we know that current through a conductor is I is equal to Q by T. Substitute T and Q. Then what do we get? I is equal to L gets cancelled, NEAVD, correct? I is equal to NEAVD. Any doubts? Any doubts? Understood? Very easy and important for 3 marks. Relationship between current and drift velocity. Very, 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 very important. Okay? Next. What is the next concept which we are moving for is the relationship between current density, conductivity and resistivity. Current density means what? What do you mean by current density? Current density is nothing but current per unit area taken normal to the direction, correct? Okay. Current density. How to find out this? How to do this derivation? How can we find or how can we do this derivation? Relationship between J, rho, sigma and see here, this question can be asked in different way also. Either they can write relationship between current density, resistivity and sigma, or they can ask the question as derive the relationship between or derive the expression for conductivity in terms of relaxation time. Expression for conductivity in terms of relaxation time. Either they can ask a question in this manner or they can ask in this format. That is relationship between J, sigma and rho. Any way they can ask the question. Understood? Okay. Now, so what we have to do? Let us consider the conductor. Okay. Let us consider a conductor of length L, area of cross section A. When an external electric field is applied, electrons will be drifted with the velocity Vd. Let R be the resistance of the conductor, rho be the resistivity, and sigma be the conductivity of the material. Anything else is left out? Tau be the relaxation time. That is nothing but time interval between two successive collision. So what we have done? Let us consider a conductor of length L, area of cross section A. When an external electric field is applied, electrons will be drifted by the velocity Vd. R be the resistance of the conductor, rho be the resistivity, sigma be the conductivity, and tau be the relaxation time. Let N be the number of electrons per unit volume. Now, we know that expression for drift velocity is Vd is equal to E tau by m. We know that Vd is equal to E tau by m, where m is mass. And also, we know that I is equal to NeAVd. Correct? NeAVd. So, let us substitute this equation 1 in 2. Then what do we get? Substitute 1 in 2. We get I is equal to NeA. In place of Vd, we have to write E tau by m. We also know that E is equal to V by L. This derivation we have done in the second chapter, correct? E is equal to V by L. We will keep it separately. We'll speak about this later. Now listen. I is equal to Ne square. Will we get that? What is the next expression we get? Ne square A E tau by m. This is I. But the next question is, what is the relation between current density and current? That is nothing but J is equal to I by A. What is I? Ne square A E tau by m divided by A. A gets cancelled. So we get Ne square E tau by m. Next, what is the step we can move for? What is the next step we can move for? Is there any relationship between conductivity and current density? What is the relation? Shall I write it in this side? Shall I write it here? Listen, after this step, you have to come here. Okay? Okay, we know that J is equal to sigma E. Correct? So, can I write sigma E is equal to N E square E tau by M? E gets cancelled. Sigma is equal to N E square tau by M. N E square tau by M. This is the relation between conductivity and in terms of relaxation time. Understood? See what we have done? Let us consider a conductor of length L having area of cross section A. When an external electric field is applied, the electrons will be drifted with the velocity Vd. R be the resistance of the conductor, rho be the conductivity and sigma, rho be the resistivity and sigma be the conductivity. Tau be the relaxation time. N be the number of electrons per unit volume. We know that the drift velocity is equal to, magnitude of drift velocity is E tau by M. We also know that I is equal to NEAVD. Let us substitute 1 in 2. So we get I is equal to NEAE tau by M. Because we have substituted, in this place we have substituted this one. It becomes NE square AE tau by M. We know that current density is equal to I by A. So this is equal to, substitute, I is this one divided by A. A gets cancelled. We get NE square E tau by M. Equation number 3. We all know that J is equal to sigma E. Correct? So sigma E is equal to NE square E tau by M. E gets cancelled. So sigma is equal to, so if I substitute, if I write here as equation number 4, substitute 4 in 3. So we get this expression, E gets cancelled, sigma is equal to NE square tau by M. This is very, very important relation or expression for 5 marks. Okay, very, very important. Very, very important. So if you have some doubts, please clarify through a text message. You can ask. Okay. So today, now in this class, we have done 2 derivation. Shall I move for one more derivation? Can you help me for next derivation? Yes, you have to help me for one more derivation. Very simple and easy derivation. I will do the derivation with these many diagrams itself. No confusion. Very simple, one more derivation, okay? Deduction of Ohm's law. Or deduce Ohm's law. Derive Ohm's law. Okay, anyway it can be asked. What I will do, let us consider, this is common in almost all the derivations till now what we have done, correct? Let us consider a conductor of length L, area of cross section A. Let E be the external electric field applied. Then electrons will be drifted with the velocity Vd. Correct? Am I right? Then what I can write? R be the resistance of the conductor. Then Then what else I can write? Rho be the, do we want rho or sigma for this? I don't think we need rho or sigma, correct? Okay. N be the number of electrons per unit volume. I be the current, correct? I be the current. Then what else we want? E is nothing but charge of the electron. E is the charge of the electron. Tau is the relaxation time. V be the potential difference. Then anything else? Anything else? M be the mass. Correct? Let us consider a conductor of length L, area of cross section A, connected to external electric field. Electrons will be drifted with a velocity Vd. R be the resistance of the conductor. N is the number of electrons per unit volume. I is the current. E is the charge of the electron. Tau is the relaxation time. V is the potential difference and M is mass. Now, therefore, when the electrons are drifted, Vd, velocity with which the electrons are drifted is Vd is equal to E tau by M. Was this expression we got for Vd? What was the expression we got for Vd, correct? Vd is equal to E tau by M. We also know that I is equal to NeAVd, correct? I is equal to NeAVd. Then let us substitute 1 in 2. So what do we get? I is equal to NeA. In the place of Vd I have to write E tau by M. We know that what it becomes? Ne square A E tau by M. We know that E is equal to V by L. I used it that time, correct? But I did not use this. I just wrote it, correct? See, now it is here, it required. We know that E is equal to potential per unit length. Substitute 4 in 3. Shall I write it over here? So what do we get when we substitute? I is equal to Ne square A, in the place of E, V by L tau by M. Correct? I is equal to Ne square A V tau by M L. Now, next question. Whether N is constant? Yes, number of electrons is constant. What about the charge? Is it constant? Yes, charge is also constant. What about the area? Whether area changes? No, it is also constant. V changes. Tau, relaxation time, it is also constant. Mass is constant. Length is constant. So, can I write I is proportional to V? Since Ne square A tau by ML is equal to constant. Since that is equal to constant, can I write I is proportional to V? This is nothing but our Ohm's law, correct? This is nothing but our Ohm's law. Thus, we have deduced Ohm's law. So, from here, I will say 1 by r is equal to n e square a tau by ml. So 1 by r is equal to n e square a tau by ml. This is the expression for resistance. So one more expression for resistance. Understood? Till here the derivation. So how to deduce Ohm's law? Let us consider a conductor of a length L having area of cross section A. When an external electric field E is applied, electrons will be drifted with the velocity Vd. R is the resistance of the conductor, N is the number of electrons per unit volume, I is the current, E is the charge of the electron, tau is the relaxation time, V is the potential difference, M is the mass. We know that drift velocity Vd is equal to E tau by M, and also I is equal to NeAVd. So substitute 1 in 2. So we get this expression. We also know that E is equal to V by L. Substitute 4 in 3. We get I is equal to Ne square AV tau by ML. But Ne square A tau by ML is constant. Therefore I can say I is proportional to V. And this constant is equal to 1 by R. Hence we have deduced Ohm's law. Understood? This is very one more important derivation. I think it can be asked for 3 marks. Okay? Either 3 marks or 5 marks, but very important derivation. I think since the times, actually the college would have started from June or May itself, but since it has not even started till now, I think many of the concepts may get deleted. What and all concepts will be deleted will be said to you, and those concepts no need to study. But one small request from my side is, thinking that if you don't study now, what happens is, for JEE and NEET or your CET, all the concepts will be included. They won't delete for your JEE and NEET. Then if we don't do so, that such classes, whichever these are there, if any concepts are deleted and if we don't do it, what happens is you will not understand the theory. If you don't understand the theory, then it will be very difficult for you to use those concepts for your JEE and NEET. So that is why, even though some of the concepts are deleted, many of all the concepts we are doing it now, we don't know which concepts and all will be deleted. So until that, we will do all the concepts. Okay? And even you also read all the concepts. No, don't worry. No, nothing will be wasted. All the concepts which you are studying till now, which you have already studied and which you are going to study, is very helpful for you, for your JEE and NEET, and also for CET. So please study. Thinking that some concepts will be deleted, I will study later, don't do such things. Okay? Please learn. So this is one more derivation. After this, what I want to speak about is about the Ohm's law. That is nothing but, we have deduced Ohm's law, we know the Ohm's law. After that, what we have to study is, what are the limitations of Ohm's law? For everything, there will be positive and negative points. In the same way, for this Ohm's law also there is a negative point. That is nothing but we call it as limitation. There are some limitations for the Ohm's law also. What is that limitation? Before speaking about limitation, one more thing what I want to say is, since here I is proportional to V, if we plot a graph, that is I versus V, if we plot the graph, it should be a straight line. Since it is directly proportional, the graph should be a straight line. Understood? Always, if we plot a graph for Ohm's law, it should be a straight line. So when you people come to the college, you will have an experiment related to this. After performing the experiment, you will understand that you will get I is proportional to V and Ohm's law is holding good for that experiment. So which experiment is that? How to do that experiment? Everything you will learn it when you come to our college. When we start our experiments, you will understand it in better way.